right, guys, welcome back. I have all the suspension parts in there hanging up to paint. We're going to put a coat of epoxy primer, and then I'm a little worried that I'm not going to have enough paint. So I went in my cabinet and I found some old paint, mixed it together, and we'll use that for the first coat. It's lighter than what I'm putting on there, but it'll definitely give it a better base because the 2 quarts of sprayable, I have 2 quarts of paint, which makes a gallon. So if I use that other stuff I have first, we shouldn't have an issue. So everything's hanging up in there. I just cleaned the booth filter. I didn't change it. Blew everything off. I'm gonna blow everything off one more time and we're ready to go. The epoxy primer's mixing up. Yesterday when I painted all the pearl white parts, remember there was a fly in the spray booth and I said it would end up in something? He ended up in the hood. But luckily, it was after I was already completely done. It's just sitting on the very top surface. So not the end of the world. It'll wet sand out. But I knew it was gonna happen because I saw it flying around in there, and anytime there's a paint and a fly, they end up in it. So here is the nightmare I'm gonna be dealing with. This is gonna be hell. There is a lot of parts. Hopefully nothing lets go and falls on the floor. I tried to make sure everything was tied up really well. But I'm just gonna go for it, guys. Lot to do. I taped off the ball joints on the upper control arms, and I just taped off where the bearing goes in here. Not worried about the flat surfaces. I'm just gonna go ahead and put paint on those. If the whoever's putting the lift kit on, if they need to clean those surfaces off, they can. I don't think that they need to be, but if so, they can just sand the paint off. Not a real big deal. So the epoxy primer I'm using is made by Speedy Coat. It's a direct to metal epoxy primer. We're gonna put a coat of that on first, and then we're gonna put a coat of this old paint that I have right here. It's close to the color, okay? It's a little bit, maybe a little grayer. This is more of a bronze color, but that's gonna dramatically help out because we're gonna have a lot of overspray, and the overspray is what's gonna waste a lot of this paint. So I'm just trying to make sure that we have enough here. So this is the color we're using, and this is what I had left over. So, and it's not far off at all. So I think we're gonna be all right now. And it's another way to get rid of some paint, which is nice because it's, you know what I mean, disposing of paint is expensive. So I usually hang on to it because for instances like this, rather than buying a whole gallon of color, you can buy 2 quarts, use up some of your old stuff underneath. It's not like we're trying to match anything, so I'm not worried about that. So all right, I'm gonna get this epoxy primer mixed up. I don't know if 1 cupful is gonna be enough, probably not, probably be 2 cups, but we're gonna go out there and start spraying this. I'm probably gonna do this in high speed, the spraying process, because it's gonna take me a while to get around all these parts. So I'll video it, but I'll kind of just put it in high speed. So, all right, I'll be back in a few minutes. We're gonna start putting on this epoxy primer. Okay, the parts that were powder coated, I just put a light dusting over top of them, and then the bare metal parts, I honestly put it on thicker. So I just put a light dusting so everything's kind of the same color. So when we start applying the other color, it's all the same when it's done. So I'm gonna get the gun clean, and we're gonna start with the first coat of color, which will be the wrong color. Okay, that was a whole quart of what I had left over. Now that was already been reduced, so it was a quart reduced. So now I'm gonna start doing the right color. Actually, that color looks really, really cool. But that worked out well. I was able to get a light coat on everything. I'm gonna do 2 more light coats and that's it. Not putting it on super heavy. We're just putting it on to cover. That is it. We're not trying to put more on than we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the right color in the gun, and we're gonna start putting on the first coat of color. All right, I'm gonna do the last coat of color off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the first coat of clear, and then I'll do the second coat of clear off camera. I actually like this color even better. I thought the first color was pretty cool, but this looks even better. The truck's black, so it's gonna look really good with all black frame and everything under the truck with the suspension this color. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, they are all cleared, 2 coats of clear. Go out there and look at it. They're, for the most part, dry. Might be a couple little blotchy spots, but they're pretty close to being dry already. They turned out really nice. I like the color. You just see a close-up of the color there. So they are ready to get installed in the next, I'm gonna take them tomorrow afternoon. I'm gonna load them up and drop them off on Friday. So that's the end of this video, guys, and the end of this project. And back on the dually tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.